So if I hear you correctly, what you're saying is to solve this problem, it's going to cost anywhere between $3 and $4 billion. And Congress can either choose to solve it quickly, like within the next year or two, big chunk of money right away, or they can choose to sort of dribble it out over a number of years. And one of the interesting conclusions, I think, about your these different scenarios is that even though Congress is stepping in with some extra appropriations to get rid of this backlog, you say that in the end, getting rid of this backlog is going to pay for itself, correct?
Yeah, and Tori, you've worked on Capitol Hill. You know that every interest group has their favorite proposal that will pay for itself.
Right.
I can't tell you how many times I've gotten that pitch, and the fact that I had to write it in this paper was a challenge, because really another thing that'll a self-licking ice cream cone. It's like, come on. But
I know, Gordon. When I saw this, I said like at 2 AAF.
Exactly. I get it. But when I take a step back and think about it, it intuitively it makes sense. It's essentially a one-time transaction for essentially allowing a worker in, and they're like a lifetime of tax payments and economic activity. And so that logic made sense to me. Is that this is you could let in, at least accelerate the entrance of on the order of 900,000 workers was our estimate into the economy who otherwise are held up. And that proposition seems like a good one from the taxpayer's perspective, and that's what animated that. And again, the order of magnitudes I think are sensible. So essentially, within the budget window, you have an appropriation that clears out the backlog, and that lets in. So again, like I said, a lot of these benefit applications, the 5.2 million backlog, not all of those are employment-based applications. There's a significant share in there that's, like I said, inconsequential economically, like I lost my green card and I need a new one, and things like that, much more mundane applications. But there's a significant share that are economically consequential and would give rise to employment. And that's primarily what is animating this, which of that 5.2 million, we estimated there would be about 930,000 new workers working and being productive. And the analysis here is again fairly, it's not too fancy. We know that the literature finds that basically new immigrants tend to have higher productivity than average, and higher levels of entrepreneurship, all that. This probably conservatively, this analysis doesn't include that. It just uses sort of average labor productivity, and so in that sense, it's somewhat conservative in estimating how significant these new workers could be to the economy.